go, people. Cleaning out, for those that know where I keep this in the garage, you'll know what gun this is. So this has been in my garage for, hell, at least 8 years, and no rust, pretty clean. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a wipe down, put a little coat of oil on it, and get some gloves on here. Yeah, so somebody was asking about these gloves. They're Glove Works. Shit, I just moved my damn little mat here and it hit the camera. So they're Glove Works, blue, heavy duty, blue nitrate, and it's got the little beads on it for grippy. Pretty nice. I think they're a little pricey though. So that's the gloves I wear when I'm doing. I have other gloves that aren't as pricey if I'm doing something short. But because these are a little bit thicker, I forgot how thick they were, they don't tear as easy when I'm working around sharp areas. So they're pretty heavy duty. I just wash my hands so they're wet. So this glove is sticking to it pretty good. Alright, let's get some cleaning. So got my trusty mystery oil. Put a couple dots there. Rub that in. Put a little dot there. So I put in a link last time. I just ordered like a big bottle of this stuff at Amazon and picked it up. And it was only $6 for a huge bottle, and that will probably last you forever. But this had some, I don't remember what I cleaned this with last time. But it had something that appeared to be some sort of grease. So, oh shit, put that on the wrong side. I want to put this on the part that goes down so I can squeeze it and get the oil down in there. And I put some oil in there because that's the part that moves when you go down. And I will put some here. Now I could just take the screw off and get it down in there good, but I'm being a little lazy. And then here's the case, and you can tell where I was talking about that kind of oily whatever was on there. I'm thinking I used either where's that, CV2? This stuff does really good. If something's going to be out and exposed, you put this on it, it's like putting Cosmoline on it. Works really, really well, but it did not do that great in my test for just setting it out there. So I was a little disappointed in the test results for this. So, and normally I could see a little red if it was that, and I can't see it. So we are going to, I know I got that little bottle on there so it doesn't leak. I know somebody's probably panicking right now. Rick, it's gonna leak. No, it's not gonna leak. So I'm just gonna give this a little coat of this mystery oil. That's another good thing about using gloves. It doesn't absorb into your hand, so when you're handling things, it's all over your gloves. So you're oiling when you're handling something, even if you don't mean to. Somebody asked when I use these Q-tips if it leaves a little bit of cotton behind. It can leave a little cotton sometimes, but I can usually see it. And if I see it, I can pull it off. And even if I don't see it, it's not that big of a deal. This is this cotton will burn right up if you fire it in a gun, if you put it somewhere where it gets around heat. It's just cotton. So I don't remember what I put in here to kind of, ooh, that's pretty dirty. There's a little retention. I'm assuming it's this that I'm hitting. Maybe not. I hit it right there. So there's some sort of retention thing that I'm hitting right here that I'm cleaning on. That's where I'm getting that black stuff from. Which is okay. So I'm thinking this is good. Now somebody's going to think I put this in backwards because the curve is different, but this doesn't even go down there. So it doesn't matter which way you put it. Alright? I'm always getting really quick. Hey, you did that. And sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're not. So if I can spot it before it's going to happen, I usually like to try and correct it. So that's good for that one. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to put it with my other bayonets that I did. I don't know if I've even posted that video where I cleaned some of my bayonets. Okay, so let's start with the little muzzle brake here. Anytime you get an AK, change the muzzle brake. The muzzle brake that comes with it is crap. How many do I have? These are the muzzle brakes that come with it. And you can tell how many I've taken off my AKs. So, those little muzzle brakes, they work, but they don't do the flash, and they go on an angle, so if you're shooting it, it stops the barrel from rising. So, I mean, they can. Since I got some of that oil on my hand, I might as well just handle these and give them a little oiling by just handling them. Instead of handling with my hands and putting oil that's going to make them rust, I actually just kind of oiled them up a little bit by handling them. Alright, so I like, and remember they're reverse threaded, so instead of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's opposite. And this actually looks pretty clean. I'm going to go ahead and slide a clean Q-tip in there and see what kind of dirt I got on my threads. Pretty dirty. So although it looks pretty clean, there's quite a bit of dirt on the inside there. And that could be what I used to clean it last. So I'm not saying... And right now, I'm looking for dirt, but now I need to oil this thing and get it the way I like it. So now I'm going to get the clean side of this, put some of this mystery oil on it, and get into all these crevices with this mystery oil. And see, the front isn't too bad. It's just where those threads are at, where I was getting that dirt. Yeah, still getting a little bit of that dirt. And this will probably come off here too. Yeah, see, got quite a bit there too. So these threads had a little bit of dirt. There's that little detent right there on the AK that holds the flash suppressor on. I always like to put a little oil or anything down there because there's a spring in there that you really can't get to. So anytime I see a spring that I can't get to, I like to put some oil on it and then work that detent and get that oil down in there. That'll help preserve it. Okay, so we'll get some, I'll get my dirty rag here and see what. Not too bad. Not the end of the world. Little cleaning rod comes with it. Got a little bit of rust maybe on it right there. I don't know if that's old cosmoline or rust. And if this was a new, or not new, if I just went and got a new AK, I would do the same thing I'm doing now. Kind of go through it and try to remove that cosmoline crap. Obviously, either when I did it last time, I didn't do it very well. Because I'm still getting some crap off it. Which, it's not the end of the world, but I would rather it clean. So this is, put a little drop in the glove there. And now when this goes back in there, it will, I'm not going to put it in yet, because I'm probably going to pull out this gas tube. So I need to clean this area. I need to knock off my gas tube. I don't know if I'll take this off or not. I want to put some wax on this wood. When I got this wood, I think I sanded it down and put some sort of polyurethane, some sort of protector on it, so the wood wouldn't rot. But I'm going to go ahead and put some wax on it. And same thing with the rear there. I'm going to get some wax on it. Some wax on and wax off. So let me take it off the gas tube. You put this little thing up here. Normally, that's why I keep my little rubber mallets. Doesn't take a lot of pressure, but a little rubber mallet makes it easier. And it's not going to come off till I take the bolt off, so I probably shouldn't even done that yet, but it doesn't matter. Let me take this off. Man, that spring is tight. Woo! That is a really, really tight spring. Wow! See, in order to get this to come down, this has to go in so this can come up. And it wants to lag right there. Oh shit, I just noticed. Some AKs have a pin. It's like an extra little safety. So this, you can't take it down unless you detent that pin. As soon as I press that pin in, this is going to go all the way in. Man, I haven't handled a lot of different AKs in a while and I forgot about that. So let's yep. Went right in. So there's my cover. Basically the same AK takedown as the other one. Notice this won't come out now. So I'm trying to take this off and it won't come because of this detent pin that has to go in order to let it out. When you press that in, then you can push this forward and take it apart. And there she blows. And there's the old... Yeah, I definitely had grease on this one. I can tell by looking. There's a lot of smudging. Which, if it's sitting in storage, I don't worry about it. But it's been out there for so many years, I figured, what the hell, I will just... Oh, shit, there goes my oil. Good thing I got that cap on so it won't spill. Alright, so now I can take off this gas tube here that I kind of knocked up here. Then this will come off. Now, when I painted these, I had to take this wood off, which is a pain in the butt to get those end pieces off. So I'm just going to wax the outside. I'm not going to take this off. But I will be able to clean down in there and get a good cleaning. On the AK pistol you saw me using, I couldn't do that because of all the little Allen screws that kind of clamp it all together. It would be a pain in the butt. So I'm going to take this off so I can clean the barrel real good, even though I don't think the barrel... Oh, there is a little bit of rust. See that little brown rust there? Let me get a clean corner of the patch so you can see the difference. Okay, see the patch clean? So just wiping that a few times, you can tell I got a little surface rust. Again, it's not messing up the function, but so I'm going to take this little front piece off here. You got to put that little thing up, and that releases it so it can move. And then I think this little thing goes down like so. And so that's your release, and now you pull this handle forward off of here and it comes off. So I'm going to wax that up and put a little bit of oil on that metal piece right there. And I'll be able to oil and get all in here and get a good cleaning to that. Now, if I really wanted to do this right, I would pull this off and clean all that area out, which I did. This is a Hogue grip, which I put on almost all my AKs because that little plastic handle one is really hard. These foam, man, they make shooting AKs so much more comfortable. It's got finger grips, really nice grips for your AKs. So this is pretty much broken down. And now I'm just going to start cleaning a few pieces. So let's see, we'll start with this little baby. Looks pretty clean, doesn't it? I mean, for being out in the garage for shit 8-9 years. I mean, I don't know when I built the garage, but it's been in there pretty much since I built it, and it looks pretty clean. So let's see. I'm gonna use this corner of the clean rag here. See that little rust? See that brown? That's the stuff that you can't see, and that's why I use these old rags, because I want to get the major stuff off, and then when I use another rag, I'm going to remove the rest of the stuff. Ain't no sense in wasting. I mean, somebody's like, dude, just buy some patches, they're not that expensive. Well, actually, the good cotton ones are expensive. But, I mean, I just don't want to waste it. I mean, I got patches down here. So you can tell the part that I have not cleaned. I haven't done this part, but I have kind of wiped down the front end. Can y'all see the difference? And like the fingerprints or the smudges. This has a waxy finish. This has a smooth finish. And I haven't even put oil on it yet. So that's just that kind of coat of wax that I had on it. People ask why I wasn't using Renaissance wax on this. This Renaissance wax is kind of expensive, so I use that on kind of like my Safe Queens or something that I'm not going to be handled a whole bunch. So this little AK looks freaking almost brand new now. Whew. It really cleaned up nice. Look how clean that cleaned up. I don't know if you can see it, but just that little wipe down. And again, that's before I put any coat of oil on it. So now I got a coat of oil on the front, nothing on the back. And oil absorbs into the metal, and Buck's really is the one that pushes this a lot. He goes, if you really want to oil a new gun good, he goes, you should just kind of like put a whole bunch like this and then let it set overnight. And he goes, it will actually absorb into the metal and give you much better protection than if you put it on and wipe it off, because it doesn't have the absorption time. So that's a little tip from the Buckster. Buckster's forgotten more about guns than I'll ever know. He's out of Gainesville. He's got the gun shop in Gainesville. Lone Star Shooting Supplies is his place. And if you got a gun question that nobody can answer, he can answer it. And if you got a part that needs to be made for a gun that nobody makes anymore, he can make it. Buck is the gun god. And for me to call him that, he's got to be pretty good. Because I think a lot of people who think they're gun gods are kind of idiots. But I digress. Alright, so we have that. So let's get a little clean Q-tip here on this one. And let's just get these little grooves. Because little grooves tend to... look at that rust coming out of there. See, it looks clean? And again, this is a dry rub. Once I put oil and rub again, I will remove more. Look what it did to that Q-tip. Again, even though something looks clean, and I think that's a big mistake, this looks like it's got pretty good carbon buildup in here. I'm going to squirt some of this rim oil. This is like a rinse for me. If I need to like water rinse something, I'll just use the rim oil to kind of rinse it and get the top crap off, and then put what I'm going to put on it. So, I mean, they could call it rim oil rinse if they wanted to, and I'd be okay with that. See, look at that. Coming out of that hole. A lot of dirt in there. I don't like that. So I'm going to get a little toothbrush in there and give it a little scrubbing. I always save my old toothbrushes for things like this. Alrighty. I bet there is going to be all kind of crap coming out of here when I shove this patch through there. Rick, you're using a dirty patch. Yeah, because I'm sticking it in a dirty area and it's going to collect on and grab a lot of crap out. And it's going to get a lot dirtier. Alrighty. Man. I don't know if I showed this before, but looking down at it now, man, now that's a clean, what is this, gas tube. That's a clean gas tube right there. Ooh, doggies. Look at that. That's a healthy colon. Alright, so now that I got that cleaned up there, I'm going to wipe off all this rim oil that I kind of put on there, and then I'll put me some of that mystery oil. And again, somebody's going to say, you used a dirty patch. I did, but it's not the end of the world, people. This is a clean towel, and I don't think I'm going to get that much dirt off it, which I didn't. So, I mean, using a dirty patch isn't the end of the world. You know what? So because I had this in there, I'm going to clean my brush right here a little bit. You can tell. And I'm going to give it a scrub down with this mystery oil, because I can't really get in all the little pieces in here. So this little toothbrush is going to make sure and getting any little piece that I might have missed. Alright, and then I will put some down the tube and get the old brush in there as well. And I'm spinning, I'm keeping the toothbrush one way and I'm spinning the other thing I'm holding around. So toothbrush isn't moving, this is moving around, so I get a good oil coat. Does that look any better? I can't really see. Should be a nice little coat of oil. Some people will say too much oil, you don't need it, you're over lubricating. Again, when you fire the AK, it blows out. If you got too much oil, it'll blow it out. Don't worry about it. And after a couple rounds, it's gone. So, will it maybe mess up your... See, this oil is still soaking in there, but it is drying a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that Mr. Oil drying a little bit as it kind of absorbs in this metal. I don't know if there's going to be some metallologist coming here. You can't absorb metal, you don't know what you're talking about. That's... Look, I'm telling you. Okay? So this little thing looks pretty good. I see a little bit of red stuff. That I think that's just lube. I think that right there is like Molly lube or whatever that I had on there. Which is fine. I mean, I could re-molly this with that stuff. I mean, it worked for 8 years. I thought I had a can of that spray-on Molly. They even have this Molly mist that you can spray on. And if you get a new gun that you want to really clean up and spray that on, that really absorbs and adheres to the metal inside. But the only problem is it kind of makes things black afterwards. And when you're dealing with it, you kind of get dirty. So it also makes it hard to find. Look how nice and shiny and clean that bolt is. Ooh, and that's just a wipe down. I didn't even oil that yet. But that's what a clean bolt looks like on an AK, in case you guys have never seen one. Some people are not as picky as I am with their AKs. Oh, look at that, I got some dirt off there. Nasty! Nasty, nasty, nasty. That was right in that. I saw that little lip and I go, you know what? I probably didn't get that little lip good. Yeah, look at that. See? That's why when somebody brings me a gun and says, hey man, it's really clean. I get out my Q-tip and I'm like, we'll let the Q-tip be the judge on whether it's clean or not. If it can't pass the clean Q-tip test, it ain't clean. Alright, so now I'm going to put a little mystery oil on here. Somebody's going to be here. What's in a mystery oil? I don't know. Read up on it. I hope somebody out there has some influence with some of these gun guys and they'll do a test where they do all that spray, salt, and the tension test to where they put the oil on a piece of metal and then they run a grinder on it to see if it'll grind down. I mean, there's some nice tests out there. I wish they would do that on the mystery oil. Okay, so the actual gas tube looks pretty clean, but this, because of the oil, it looks a little dirty, but I still think this is clean also. But we're going to go ahead and wipe this down and see if we can't get any dirt off here. A little bit of, looks like, see, it's hard to tell when you're using that Molly. When you clean it, is it removing the old Molly and that's the brown? Or are you removing a little bit of rust? Because I'm getting a little bit of brown on this towel. And the key is that surface rust, which I don't think, because this doesn't look like it's rusting at all. Or is it, oh, that was pretty dirty. And I thought this was pretty clean. quite a bit of dirt off that. So we're going to go ahead and drop some Mr. Oil down there. And then I'm going to get a new patch. Nice clean patch for that one guy. See? I have clean patches. Rick, don't use it. I hate getting it dirty, but it's got to go in. It's got to go in for the grab. Not too bad. And again, this is where the spring goes into. So, a little bit of dirt there, but not extreme. Now there's a pin that holds this on, and the pin has been grinded down, you can see. So when they put that pin in, this is what I call a rough cut. See those little grooves right there? Where they actually put the pin in, and when the pin came down, instead of using a correct finish pin, they put the pin in rough and then grind it down while it's in, and therefore it's smooth. So in order to take this piece off, if it breaks, you got to knock this little pin out. And hell, I don't even know if I could knock it out if I wanted to. I guess I could try. Rick, don't do it! You'll never get it back! Well, I know, but we'll try. Where's my freaking little knockers? This one looks like it'll work. Okay, it didn't want to come out that way. Let's try the other way. They've grinded it down so hard, it's hard to tell where it's at. Wow. So it's right here, so it's got to be the other side. It's got to be right there. Wow. Pretty amazing. I can't even see it. If I had to get this out, I would probably have to get a grinder again and regrind it, because that, I can see it on this side, but it's not going through. So I won't take that out, but that's how you do it if you had to take it out. Here comes a comment. This guy doesn't even know what he's doing. He can't even shut up, you freaking crazy internet experts. Okay, got a little oil on it now. Now it looks kind of nice and shiny and smooth. We'll get a clean Q-tip. Oh, this one's pretty clean. We'll use that one. Where the bolt goes in, always want to make sure that's nice and clean. This is the rails. Put a little drop of oil in there. And this is pretty much done. Put the little bolt back in there. And there we go. Bolts back together. It twists. It should twist if it's in there correctly. I don't know if y'all can see that twist. Okay. So that's done. Ready to go back. That's done. I wonder if I should stop this and make a part 2. Let's go ahead and stop this and we'll do a part 2.